Dun, da, da, da. Welcome to the Wednesday night midweek Oasis. It's Wednesday, October 13th. My name is Paul Pursuti, and I'll be your host tonight. That's the first time I've controlled recording, and I like the power that it gives me. So we'll find out when Constance goes to edit it and see if it all works. But I see the recording light is on, so that means it's time for our service tonight. We welcome everyone who has joined us so far tonight. Oh, I take a breath and marvel at our garden that's growing behind us, and hearing the news from Sage and Tahoe and the news from Portland, from Peter. They have all rainy weather and snow even up in Lake Tahoe this week, but nothing for us yet. So we're still doing our rain dance in the parking lot. Looking forward to some rain maybe next week. So welcome, church family. What is the Wednesday night Oasis? Why do we call it Oasis? This is our way of having a place where we can be together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between Sunday services. We present our Wednesday night services in a satsang style, but in our own kind of way, where we invite a gifted speaker to speak on Wednesday nights on a particular subject, and they speak for about 20 minutes, and then we open it up for a discussion, one that we hope is informal, intimate, and rich. So that's our plan for tonight, and I'm going to stick to the plan, church family. Let me remind you of our annual theme, Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision, and our monthly theme for October is Going Further Together. And we're pretty much, if you can believe it, halfway through the month. Before we know it, Halloween is going to be here, then Christmas and New Year's. This year is just flying right by. So if you're joining us for the first time, we welcome you. We always enjoy having first-time visitors to Wednesday night. You saw our webpage to get here. Please explore it. There's a lot of information on there, as well as an invitation to get our Village News newsletter on the lower left-hand corner, where you can submit your email address and you'll get a weekly newsletter with everything that's happening, all the Zoom links if we're in Zoom, or where we're gathering and what we're doing and when we're doing it. It's a handy little tool. It keeps me on track. Constance, who's on the call tonight, our administrator, keeps us very well informed on where and when to be through the Village News, and we encourage you to sign up for it. Please note that to ensure the quality of our transmission, I'm going to ask you to turn off your camera and your microphone at this time, and because you don't want the Zoom team to do it. They're working behind the scenes and they will do it. And please stay tuned for some special and important announcements at the very end of our program tonight, adding to our communication tool. We have a wonderful and terrific speaker tonight, very near and dear to my heart. He's been speaking for several years now on Wednesday nights, and a little bit in the pulpit we've seen recently, and a lot actually. As our youth and family director, and now he's a ministerial student. So he let go of the youth and family so he can focus on becoming a minister. He's very active in our community. He comes from a long, wonderful heritage and history. Recently speaking with his grandmother, Reverend Eloise Oliver, on the pulpit. What a dynamic service. Remind me at the end to tell you more about that, because you can see it on our YouTube channel. It's worth going to see. So definitely go check that out. But you're here and you get to see Luchan and hear Luchan. Luchan, we're so glad that you're here tonight to be with us. Luchan's going to be speaking on Share the Dream, I believe is the title of the talk. So with that in mind, Luchan, I'm going to turn it over to you and ask, before you launch into your delivery, if you just open us up in one of the most favorite activities here at the center, prayer.
Yes, I will.
Thank you, Luchan.
continuing in the same consciousness. We go together, for we know there is only God. We can never not be together, for as long as there is a universe, as long as there is God, as long as there is consciousness, there is a unit that we cannot escape, and that unit is called love. And so we go in love on this Wednesday, reflecting off each other and putting our God selves forward. I bless this service. I bless this congregation. I bless the team. I bless all devices. I am overjoyed. I release knowing that the universe always says yes. And so it is. Greetings, everyone. Share the dream. You know, when I first checked out this theme for the week, I thought about my relationship to the word help. I'll be honest, I'm not too fond of that word. I do like helping others, but when it comes time for me to actually use the word help, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too fond of that word. I need to get over it, but I don't like it. And I've been having issues with both my work phone and my personal phone. And it's driving everyone in my life crazy, especially my wife. You know, she calls trying to see where I'm at. And then 3 million missed calls later, like, hey, you called? And because of that, yeah, we I almost got back home for this a lot later than I would have had not my wife just turned around and not picked me up. We had a miscommunication due to my phone issue, and she was just like, "Do you want me to come get you?" And I felt bad because my phone is an inconvenience on everyone, and so out of pride, I told her, "No, don't come back and get me." Of course, my wife was like, "That's stupid. I'm coming back to get you," and she picked me up. But I'm realizing that had she not did that, I probably would not have made it to this service on time. And so what's beautiful about that is that we all need help. We are pack animals. We are. And with that, listen, we are all given from this infinite source that we all tap into. We are all given a divine idea, a divine vision. We call it a dream, but that's what it is, a divine vision. And we see it. We see ourselves in it. We're magnified. We're beautiful. We're respected in this vision. And we're like, yeah, but at least me, I'm not going to speak for any of you, but me, I have the vision. And I forget that in order for it to fully manifest, I have to have help. Share the dream. Share it. It's not just yours anyway. It's not just your dream. Your yes, it's starring you and all of that. But what I'm realizing, right? We all get a payoff from being part of helping someone's dream manifest. We all want to get a piece of that. We all want to say that. What I think about when this comes up is the hip hop community has a lot of different MCs who are well celebrated. And who I think of right now is the legend Nas, born Nasir Jones, and he shortens it to Nas in his career. It was Nasty Nas at first, but just Nas, right? And what makes this man's career very unique, you can actually watch his story, Time is Illmatic, on I think either Hulu or Netflix if it's still there. His first album, Illmatic, is a classic. Oh my goodness. If you're a jazz fan, you would love this album. But at the time, it was unheard of for all the top producers in the game to all come together to work on one project. But this kid, Nas, was so ahead of his time. He was a high school dropout. And, while he was around all these grown men, he's 17, 18, 19, around these grown men, just the words he would put together and everything would just wow people. And it got to the point to where all the top producers in New York wanted to work on his album. Q-Tip, DJ Premier, Large Professor, Lord Finesse, just all these amazing producers who make the most amazing music for you to rhyme over, all wanted to be on his album. They all wanted to they're practically throwing him beats. And what I realized is we all saw very early just this golden light out of this kid's eyes when he first came to us and debuted. We saw that. And so anyone who was really there, of course, he's a few years older than me, so I wasn't there, but I remember his debut and I remember it shaking the world. And so when you mention Illmatic, yes, I mean, if you're a real hip hop fan, that's in your top 5. It's in most people's top 1 favorite albums of all time when you talk about classic hip hop albums. And it's just a beautiful piece of art. It aged well. It's just amazing. And everyone saw that ahead of time in this kid, which is why every single top producer was like, no, I'm trying to get my beats on this dude's album too. I say that to say this, that in this divine vision that we all get divine visions. I don't care what age, we never stop dreaming. And it's there for us to share. It's there for us to bring the community in and us beautifully help this thing materialize. That's what it's there for. I remember a lot of times when I would play basketball, I'd be too afraid to shoot. I can pass really well. I got some real good defense, and yeah, I don't dribble that well at all. But you know, I would always be afraid to shoot. And when you're wide open and someone gives you this beautiful pass, they want you to shoot the ball. They want that. That's called an assist. I get my assist if you make that shot. I don't want you to pass it. I don't want you to hold the ball and, you know, I don't want you to, I want you to dunk that thing if I pass you the ball. I think we all feel that way. It makes us feel good to be a part of that greatness. It makes us feel good to be like, yeah, I was a part of that. I assisted that. I helped that happen. But yet, that word help, I don't like it, y'all. I do not like. I love being asked for help. I know. But see, what I'm realizing is that causes stagnation in the universe. That's what that does. There was another album by Raekwon from Wu-Tang Clan. I love just saying all these names that not everybody knows because it's really fun. I remember grandmother would always talk about Mahalia Jackson and just all these names that I didn't know, and I'd go find out. And it was cool because then it was like, yeah, now I'm, you know, we're connecting to generations like that. So it's really fun because then I get a few of you come back like, hey, I Googled that and I checked out some of the music, and I'm really glad you said that. And I mean, this is what keeps the generations interacting with each other, is when we share our worlds like that. So it's really fun for me. Raekwon from Wu-Tang Clan put out an album called Only Built for Cuban Links. Now, if you know what a Cuban link is, right? I know a lot of y'all like jewelry. I see you. New Thought people love them some jewelry. A Cuban link is one of the most indestructible chains, right? You know, on the West Coast, we got our herringbones. If you saw Friday, that's what Smokey had on. He had a herringbone chain. That's West Coast. But in the same era, in the 90s, you was from the East Coast, you had a Cuban link around your neck. And the Cuban link was very hard to break. But what I love about a link, right? A link is, it's very metaphysical. Every last one of us is a link in a chain. Every last one of us. Sage getting her hip hop on. I see you, Sage. Every last one of us is a link. But the link is only effective in the chain if we're both giving and receiving. That's a link. That's exactly what a Cuban link is. It's only strong when we're both acknowledging what's in front of us and behind us. I too was one of those older people who've been listening to hip hop all my life. And just like my parents would bash our music, I listened to my daughter's music, and you know, I'd be like, oh, please, I ain't trying. That ain't no real hip hop. What I'm realizing is that is breaking the link. I'm doing exactly what my parents did when I do that. It is on us to acknowledge what's ahead of us and behind. Our dream is there to involve the community. That's what it's there for. People want to be a part of the greatness. Period. And this is me talking to me. When someone wants to help you, let them. By saying no, by believing that we can just manifest this dream on our own, we are not only cheating ourselves, we're cheating all of us. Now we got to wait even longer for this dream. We could have been had this thing out, but this is me talking to me, y'all. I got to get over that. My mother went to Ghana in my early 20s. Her and a lot of people from East Bay and a few members from the family. A few of you may even know that my uncle Kwame lives in Ghana right now. And I was told by several family members that in Ghana, out of nowhere, people would just start dancing, right? Someone will just start dancing for no reason. And whoever's around, the whole community joins in and dances with that person. And I heard it, I'm like, wow, that is so beautiful. And what that means to me is honestly, the Holy Spirit is contagious. Joy is contagious. Happiness is contagious. And when we see someone experiencing that kind of joy, we want a piece of that. That's why laughter is so contagious. You don't even know what someone's laughing at. If someone's laughing so hard, there's the tears coming out their eyes and they can't stop. It makes us want to laugh too. We naturally want to join in that energy. That's what lets us know we are cosmically connected. That right there. You can't just sit there and watch somebody laugh like that and not want to join. Even if you're having a bad day, okay, like, yeah, their laughter may bother you, but honestly, deep down, it's only bothering you because you wish you were laughing like that. And so I think about that. See, if I reject someone's assistance, then I'm causing stagnation. I'm not allowing that joy that all of us get to feel when something beautiful happens from us coming together. I don't allow that to happen. I think we all are passionate about something. Be it equal rights or love is love, or I mean, we all have something we're passionate about. And to me, I think that I can speak for all of us. I think one of the most frightening things about that passion is when we have that aha moment where we're sitting and just right there in the silence, we realize, oh my goodness, it's me. I'm the one who's supposed to manifest this vision. I'm the one who's supposed to. That is frightening. That is super frightening. I don't like it. It's you. That's why you're seeing it. When you realize your hero, the person that you've put together in your mind, the person who, this will run all the bad guys off, or who, it is you. It's you. I don't know about y'all, but that is frightening to me. When I have that moment where I realize no one is coming to the rescue, it's you. When you are ready to step into that place, that's when it all goes away. But as long as you don't want to step in them shoes, it's not going anywhere, homie. That's frightening to me. We all keep dreaming because we are all divine and we continue being sent divine visions. But it's being sent to you because you are the one worthy of manifesting it. You are. We need you to do it. That's the gift and the curse about life. I learned this being a parent is your life is not just your life. I don't care if you don't have kids. Your life is not just your life. Someone is watching you. Whether you're aware of it or not, someone is watching you and they need you to get that dream off the ground. They need, because they are afraid of doing it themselves and they need an example to show them it's possible. So they need you. This dream thing is, I think as we get older, we get cocky and I'm a professional and I'm a grown man. I don't dream. Hold on, no. We all have dreams. We don't ever stop dreaming. Stop it. Cut that out. We're all just children. When it comes to God, you will always be a child. We're all just children. And you're never too old to have a dream. There is no you and God anywhere. There is only God. And as different expressions of God, it is important that all of us shine and tackle our dreams. That is important. We have to do that. And that's why we share the dream. To be woke is also to be a loner. You hear that? To be woke is also to be a loner. I didn't say lonely. But being woke is oftentimes you are a loner. You're going places that others are afraid to go. And that gets painful at times, I think. I think that the being by yourself, and you're weird like me, jokes in your mind that only you get. You don't have anybody else to share with. And yeah, that is painful. Trust me, I know. I did not choose to be this strange. I really try to be cool. It's just I'm not. Yeah, I'm strange. I try not to be, and then every now and then I feel comfortable enough to show somebody the real me. It's like, see, I weirded you out too. See, I knew it. But in that being a loner, we have to remember that you are exceptional. You are exceptional and you are going exceptional places, which means you also have exceptional people, assignments that you must tend to. This is where we end up trying to pretend like we're mediocre. We just want to fit in. Because the pain of being woke, the pain of being a loner. So we sometimes we allow that to get to us. So we just tap out and say, look, let me just fit in. It's easier. But it doesn't ever work, because even with you fitting in, you continue to shine and be a loner. That's just how abundant God is. Get over it. You're amazing. You are amazing. Your amazingness, you're that amazing. Get over it. And we need you to get that dream off the ground so that we can be wowed. My favorite part of any celebrity, athlete, famous person's career is looking back on the beginning, their humble beginning. That's my favorite. Well, I look at Kevin Hart and he talks about his career. People just love Kevin Hart. He's everywhere, right? But I remember him talking about, I remember seeing him before he was big, but even that, he talked about times where he would be doing comedy in the East Coast, and apparently it's a real thing amongst comedians in the East Coast, where when you start blowing up, a lot of the comedy greats from the East Coast are going to come into your set and try to heckle you to see if you're ready to wear the crown. And apparently Chris Rock is known for doing this. Like, you come in to a comedy club that Chris Rock used to be at when he was on his way up, and he will heckle you to see if you can handle it. I mean, hard. It's not even playful. Like, nope, still not funny. Everybody boo this guy. No, I'm not laughing. Are you laughing? No, like really bad, to the point where you're sweating. And Kevin Hart talked about that. How on many a nights he went home mad because he bombed, because he let the heckling get to him, and it was back to the drawing board. See, that's the part of the dream we don't see. We think you just show up one day and tell some jokes and now you're doing Pepsi commercials. No, what? We all love handsome George Clooney. Oh, we just love that handsome guy. Don't we? Don't forget that he was sleeping on couches. People were worried about him. And look at him now. It is imperative that we do not put our dreams aside. Now, yeah, okay, some dreams, yeah, but whatever you're here to do, though the dream may change a little bit and alter according to who you are now as opposed to who you were then, that doesn't stop. There was this guy at Rasputin in Berkeley. And this is how you know I'm a music nerd, because, Rasputin's in Berkeley. When's the last time any of you bought a tape or a CD or a piece of vinyl, right? So before all of us were streaming everything and not even buying, not even downloading anymore, I was going to Rasputin still, buying CDs and all that. And There was this one real cool dude who was working there. We were both just hip hop junkies and would always talk about different albums and stuff. And he would tell me every time he saw me, at least for a good 3 years, whenever he saw me, that he had some beats that he thought were really, really good that he wanted somebody to rap over. And every time he would get to talking about how good his beats were, and I'd be like, well, shoot, let me hear him. I'd love to rap over him. He would always be like, okay, but you got to forget what you heard. And I'd be like, wait, what? First, he would praise me, praise his beats, and talk about how awesome they were. And right after that would come the fear that someone was going to hear his beats and steal them from him. I don't think any of us, I know me and my rapper friends around the Bay used to always laugh, like, have you heard his beats? Nah, I ain't heard them yet either. I mean, he tells me how good they are. None of us heard them. I think about that all the time. Now, some of us know we're already awesome. Some of us know that. Look, I know I'm awesome. I don't need to express it to the world. I'm gonna continue just enjoying my awesomeness to myself. For those people, cool. That's cool if that's good for you. But I think all of us like to do things to actually show our awesomeness, our godliness. And I think it's a beautiful thing to do such things. It's important. Because just like I said, your life ain't just your life anyway. I'll be honest. I too am afraid. When it comes to dreams, I too get afraid. Yes, I do. I'm so glad that it's Wednesday night service and I can tell y'all that. I am afraid. Shaking, actually. Not even about the failure part. See, failure, I failed enough times. I know how to handle failure. That ain't nothing. It's the success part that scares the mess out of me. What do I have to give up to be that? Who do I have to be? What affirmations do I get to quit telling myself in order to be that? See, there's the work in it. I'm not afraid of the failure. Yeah, please. I'm afraid. It's nothing. And I can admit that. I prayed for a new side hustle, as we call it where I'm from, even though it's legit and legal. Don't be afraid. I told Spirit I needed me a new side hustle, something that I didn't need taxing me and hurting my pockets, right? Of course, excuse me, cancel that, Spirit. You could never hurt my pockets. I live an abundant life. Nevertheless, I'm working in my old stomping grounds of East Oakland at an after hours place, doing security. And we have in East Oakland and pretty much all around the Bay now what's called the sideshow. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it on the news and they try to make it look like a bad thing. And bad things have happened over at the sideshow over years, but it started out as something really cool. It was just a strip where you brought out your car and you were dressed nice and it was a social thing. Over time, it became something else. But I was a huge fan and goer of the sideshow. Let me just tell myself now because camera phones were out there when I was going to the sideshow. So if you see later on, you'll be like, "It was Brother Luchan at the sideshow with his gold teeth in." And yeah, that was me. I used to hang out car doors and windows and do all that stuff. And I remember looking at these youngsters as the sideshow rode past the bar I was working at last weekend. And it was almost like looking at Lil Me. Especially the kid. I'm looking at this one little fly Latino kid was hanging out the window. I'm just looking at him like, wow, look at I'm looking at me right now, And I think the moral to that is that same kid that we may see deep in the fog of adolescence, deep in the fog of what we may call ignorance, that's our next greatness that we get to put our time into. When we're looking back at ourselves like that, that's our greatness. That's the link behind us we're supposed to be reaching to make that Cuban link chain. And so I'm realizing when I see youngsters acting in a way that irritates me or what they're really asking is, can someone please help me get my dream off the ground? They're screaming. They don't even know that's what they're screaming for. pull that youngster aside and be like, hey, what are your dreams? I bet you'll open them up. They'll be shocked. No one's ever asked me that. People usually just turn their back on me. You actually asked me what I'm dreaming. So I just want to open it up, you know. I really want to believe that all of us still dream. Share your dreams, share your stories about helping other people's dreams, just whatever's on your heart right now. Because I can go on forever. Yeah.
Wow, Luchan. Sage is trying to capture your nuggets. It's a new feature we added tonight. And I've been trying to capture my own. I'm extremely intrigued about that last passage. So I'm going to start the inquiry, if I'm
right.
if I'm allowed. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Please do.
I'm intrigued by what you said. When someone annoys you, it's usually someone that is crying out to share their dream. Did I get that right?
Or be a part of yours.
Or be a part of mine. I'm
That's
okay.
Yeah.
So they're pulling on the chain then.
Yeah.
They're exercising their link.
Easily. You know, when I see a hate group crash a peaceful protest, you know, what I really see is someone who wishes they can join, but they don't know how. And they're afraid to say, I want to be a part of it. So instead they antagonize because that's their way of still being part of it. But, you know, if you really felt how you really felt, you would stay, you know, you wouldn't be over here. But you know where the party was. And even though you feel like you can't be a part of it, you still want to find a way to be a part of it.
Thank
That's
you.
my theory.
That's helping me clear up the them, us, the me, them thing that I have going on, and trying to apply my religious science principles to it and not sidestep or bypass the truth of the situation. And I think you've made it kind of clear to me what the truth of the situation really is.
That's right.
When those things happen. So thank you. So if someone else has a burning question or wants to add to Luchan's conversation, please turn on your camera and raise your hand. You can do it like that into your camera, or you can use your reactions button to raise your hand like I will do right now to be recognized. See that? Put you right up in, if you're in gallery view right now, put you right up at the beginning. So if you have something you would like to say or share or an inquiry, please make yourself known. Peter's going to be moderating.
Hi, Sage.
That quick, he works fast.
And while we're waiting, I was thinking about bullies. You know, I really love how we have the anti-bullying thing going on with schools and stuff. I really love that. I wish it was around when I was getting chased and humiliated my school years. But for a long time, I remember having hate for a lot of my bullies in the past. You know, just thinking about it, if I ever see him and if I catch him slipping. And over time, I realized what a bully really is. And a bully is just someone who's hurt. A bully is someone who is afraid of their own greatness and distracted by the light of others. And so instead of focusing on their own awesomeness, they try to dim the light of others because they're afraid of their own light. That's really all a bully is. And it helps me to get over that. You know, when you have dreams and maybe your mentors taught you to squash and forget your own dreams. And of course, you know, that hurts when somebody tells you, oh, you're too dumb for that. You'll never make that. So of course, now you make it your duty to go and do the same thing to others. That's really all a bully is. And for a while, my anger always told me the only way to deal with a bully is on their level and to speak their language. So, if you only know ignorance and hate and acting stupid and violence, then maybe I have to speak your language. That's how I grew up feeling. But in my 40 years on this planet, I have a different perspective. There is one more way to deal with a bully. I don't think any of us will like it. It may not produce the results we're looking for, but this I know will disarm a bully because it was done to me in my times of feeling like a bully. Look that bully straight in the face and you tell them the raw, uncut truth in front of everyone. Expose the bully's hurt. Look, trying to dim my light is not going to change the fact that someone tried to dim yours. And if you stop trying to dim mine, maybe we can put energy into you being awesome and not getting on everybody's nerves. Of course, it takes a lot of courage to do that. It does. We may not even need to say that out loud to the bully, but let's just treat a bully like what a bully is. A bully is someone who's been hurt. And we love the way we know how to love. We all got dreams.
Thank you so much, Luchan. Your message resonates with me, and I just thought it was really fascinating because before you started your talk, I was creating this meme and I was trying to remember the quote. I think it's Yoko Ono, but she says, "A dream dreamed together becomes reality." And so I'm typing this up and then I'm hearing you drop these gems and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's not Yoko Ono, it's Luchan Baker. And that last part, when you were talking about, I mean, so many different topics or so many different threads and discussion ideas and whatnot, but when you were talking about how not to be afraid of sharing your dreams and your visions. And I feel like for me, it is a relationship with kind of like the mindset of either scarcity or abundance, right? And like when I'm feeling possessive about a certain idea or something, how that's really not helpful. And I've had like business ideas that I've shared freely with other people and they've taken off with them and stuff. And so I think that I've just got to figure out how to feel comfortable sharing my dream in a capitalistic system that like isn't necessarily oriented towards where my vision is necessarily. Like that's not my motivation, but how my dream can be monetized too, if that makes sense.
It does. Makes perfect sense. It does. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. That's real.
And if you have any suggestions on just maybe starting small with building that trust with sharing, the things that we're really passionate about and really excited about, and or maybe just start like here, this is a really good group, and I trust everyone here, but sometimes those things need to be expressed somehow, and just finding the right environment for it.
What's beautiful about your inquiry is that this is one that I don't have all the answers to either. This is one that I'm still figuring out, and we get to grow together on this. So I'm really glad you asked. It was always a dream of mine to be a family man, to have my family and my children, and that was always a dream of mine. And there was a moment in my life where I got hurt and I didn't believe that dream was possible. So I was very cynical about that dream. And, whenever anyone talk about that, I would always have to say my little side comments and just, really put a dark cloud in the room if anyone ever talked about that. because I did not believe it was possible. And I remember, I forget who it was, but someone was just like, look, be eager to make mistakes. Be eager to scrape your knees. Be eager to go through that pain of trying to, because failure is the prerequisite to success. You cannot be successful without failing. Like literally, when I heard that, it was just like, what am I tripping on? And so I'm now, like, years later, getting over my fear, doing the family man thing. And yes, of course, just like any roller coaster, there are times where I'm scared and, oh my God, what have I got myself into? But for the most part, I'm loving it. And I think that's the same with our dreams, same with anything, is just, we have to just be ready to make those mistakes, be eager to make them. Here goes another hip hop reference, because that's what I do. But, you know, I think NWA breaking up was one of the greatest things for hip hop. If NWA just stayed together, we might have just, you know, they might have just been that Jerry curl group of scary black dudes from Compton who put out some good music back in the 80s and early 90s. But it took Ice Cube realizing, you know what, the money's not right here, and I'm gone. And then the group to be mad at Ice Cube, and then Ice Cube coming out with the greatest diss track ever against his own group, and then the group disbanding. Now we have those really cool headphones by Dr. Dre. Now we have Eminem, who Dr. Dre put out. Now we have a whole series of family movies from Ice Cube, from Barbershop to Are We There Yet? And, you know, Eazy-E gives us Bone Thugs and Harmony. And like, had that group just stayed together, we wouldn't have gotten all those things. We outgrow things. And I think that's what frightens us, at least me, is we outgrow things. And once we outgrow them, then what's next? But I mean, honestly, we can look at NWA breaking up as one, probably at the time, all five of them felt like it was the worst thing that ever happened to them. But if we look, I mean, so many more, it forced them to branch off and discover even more awesomeness in each of them once that group disbanded. And so I guess that's a long answer is, you know, I guess we just have to be eager to just make mistakes and know that we're full of unlimited intelligence anyway. So if our idea does get stolen, like, so what? Like, the universe supports our ideas. And then when you hear me talking about being afraid, you get to remind me I said that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dorothy.
Luchan, I am so glad you mentioned Mahalia Jackson, because I didn't know who the heck you was talking about, okay? But now it's so interesting because when I'm in the car with my kids, all those people that you talked about, they bouncing around, okay, with what is happening now. And I'm saying, oh Lord, what is this mess that I'm hearing? But I like the newer versions because there's a message in the newer versions. You know, before it was all that negativity that they were rapping about. But now it seems like they are now into more positive messages for our young people. And I'm hoping that the bully, like you said, is listening to what these rappers are saying today. So I want to thank you for enlightening me on who these people are that my children like. But I'm glad you mentioned Mahalia, because Grandma and I is on Mahalia, okay? Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you.
Love you too, sweetheart.
You know, I remember as a young man wanting to be an MC, my goal was to make our teachings in science of mind mainstream. I wasn't trying to be a thug. I was trying to be the weirdo, but I at least wanted my music to be dope, and I wanted people to hear my message. And that time that Miss Dorothy is talking about, where a lot of the music was negative, I just want all of y'all to know, labels were literally telling us what to talk about. And after being told, well, no one wants to really hear you talking about people getting along and rainbows and butterflies and being barefoot in a sunflower field, like, you know, that's what I was trying to talk about. Once we realize, okay, maybe I have to just talk about what they want me to talk about just to get on. And then I can switch my message up. So when you see a lot of these MCs talking about the violence and being disrespectful toward women, a lot of it is them just like, look, I wanted to be a rapper and they don't want to hear the positive stuff. So I have to talk about whatever I can to feed my family. And the beautiful thing now is we're seeing so many MCs with the courage to say, no, I want to say what I want to say. And if that means I don't fill up arenas like I want to or get that MTV spotlight that I wanted, then fine. That's why I love Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is from Compton. He is from Compton. I mean, the birthplace of gangster rap. And this kid is just a poet. He'll allow himself to cry. He'll allow himself to be weird. He'll do that. But it took time for us to get here. Remember that hip hop started out as a positive thing. And capitalism was like, oh, we can turn this into entertainment. It was a culture at first, the whole thing that involved the community. KRS-One always makes us remember that, first of all, hip hop started with the DJ, the person controlling the music. If you were an MC, you were only there to big up the DJ, to talk about how amazing the DJ was. If you didn't have a DJ, you weren't an MC. But more than that, you couldn't just go to the party and pick up the mic. The community had to know you. See, this is sharing the dream. Hip hop was a dream. We couldn't get into Studio 54, so we had to do our own thing in our own backyard. But in order to be a part of it, the community had to know you. And that was a beautiful thing. Like, listen, we have a set of values here in the South Bronx. And if you're not representing that, we don't know if we want you grabbing the mic here. But once those labels came in and started giving out those checks, then anybody could just grab a mic and talk about what they wanted to.
Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fight Club is one of my favorite movies of all time. Very violent movie, I know, but there's a hidden message in that movie that I love so much. And, you know, just without giving too much of it, it starts out with a character who has the job that mainstream America tells us is the right job. You know, he's in corporate America. He wears a suit and tie every day and has the fancy, you know, loft, in the high rise. And I mean, he loves it. I mean, not loves it, but, you know, we are supposed to, like, he should love his life, but he is miserable. He opposite of love. He hates his life. And throughout the movie, he ends up developing an alter ego that is free in all the ways he wants to be because he can't do it himself. And he takes us on an adventure with this alter ego of his. And you know, I just love the movie because there's so many gems that are dropped in there. And one of them is when Brad Pitt's character is saying, look, you're not your car. You're not your khakis. You're not your title. You're not your education. You're not any of that. And I feel that so much. When I go to a party, don't tell me what you do for a living. You know, unless it's your dream job that you wanted ever since you were 6, I'm not trying to hear that because it's not you. I want to hear you. What's your most embarrassing moment? Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? What's your favorite flavor ice cream? See, these are important things I want to know. That's you. I don't care about any other stuff. I just don't. Yes, I like nice things. I think your Mercedes is awesome, but it ain't you. I'm not trying to talk about it. What are your dreams? What are your passions? That's what I want to know. And that's why I love that movie so much. He was, you know, pretty much like, look, letting us know, like, it's okay to not want to participate in that. I'm not saying you're wrong if you want to participate. I'm just saying it's also okay to not.
Hi, Grady. You want to say something? Hello? Guess not.
What's the name of the movie?
Fight
Okay.
Club.
It's called Fight Club. It is violent, so I'm just letting you know that ahead of time. I don't want to upset anybody.
Well, I wish you would do a workshop on hip hop to include music, because the way you've spoken about it tonight makes me more and more interested. And I also have heard some of the later music, and it is pretty remarkable and motivating and positive. So I wish you consider doing a workshop so some of us that are not as enlightened about it can learn more. Thank you for your talk tonight. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. And thank you for saying that out loud, because I've been developing one, and now that you've said it, now I have the courage to finally announce it. So yes, it's time for that kind of workshop.
Okay. Wonderful.
Hey, Grady, what you're doing? You're planting seeds, girl. You're planting the seeds.
That was
All right.
community involvement. That's what I needed.
Well, we're drawing
That's what
close
we need.
to our end. I want to thank everybody that was willing to share. I hope you're complete. Luchan, I want to thank you in advance. I will probably thank you 10 times before the next 10 minutes is over. But wow. And be very careful, because Reverend Jerry's on the call, and she may have heard about that hip hop workshop that you're planning. And we know you're a ministerial school, and you're going to have to write some type of doctorate type paper. I would love to see you do some hip hop science of mind relationships.
We.
A one-page.
Yay.
I'll send you the form for the outline for doing a proposal for a
All right.
workshop. You send it to me, and we'll get it booked.
We are just sharing the dream. We're just sharing the dream tonight, Luchan. We're jumping all in your dream.
That's what I needed. It's not a
It
dream.
doesn't have to happen tomorrow, okay? It doesn't have to happen tomorrow.
And then we have the voice,
Don't panic.
the voice of reason, and Constance is supporting you. She's sending you the application. Reverend Jerry may even approve it tonight before it's over. So no pressure,
No,
Luchan.
leave Reverend Jerry out of this right now, okay? Leave her out of this right now.
Oh, there's her thumbs up, Luchan. Get ready. I think you're on a roll now, baby. No, there's no way out. It's too late. You dare to share with your church family. See what happens. Constance, darling.
Luchan, the hardest part of this whole thing is you have to look in your email.
Yes.
Zing. Oh,
Luchan, thank you. You were awoken something in me that I need to work on.
Love you.
and that's the purpose of Wednesday Night Oasis, somewhere to come so we can bridge our spiritual events between Sundays, and it can shine here. So thank you everyone for being a participant tonight. Thank you, Luchan. I have some announcements and they're very short tonight. So, but I would like you to listen to them if you would. On Sunday, October 17th, Reverend Savannah Riker, that's next Sunday, is speaking on Doorway to the Heart. So join us physically and in person in the sanctuary, or you can watch the service live on our live stream or YouTube. Service starts at 10:30. Please know that if you will be joining us on Sunday in person, everyone is required to wear a mask inside all of our buildings, and we will be practicing social distancing. Next Wednesday, October 20th, practitioner Zoe DeMuro will be sharing his insights on We Greater Than Me, Going Further Together. Our meditation is at 6:30 and the service is at 7. Wednesday night services are going to continue for a while on Zoom. We're kind of comfortable with this presentation, and I'm comfortable sitting here in my casual clothes on Wednesday night. So yeah, we're going to continue this for a while. October is pledge month. It is now almost halfway through the month, and we have received 18 pledges totaling about $65,000. Now, Constance has put this slide together kind of like a barometer of where we're at. So this will change week to week throughout the month. You can see that the $65,000 is barely at the leaf level of the tree. Our goal is 400,000 because that's what it takes approximately to run the center in the year. The Board of Trustees need your commitment to be able to put together a package that will keep the village humming and running, and that will attract the perfect and right senior minister or co-ministers. We are an incredible village. We have been through a lot together, and together we will go further. Please put in your pledge today. The link for the online pledge card is on the homepage. And finally, please, please, please nominate your favorite nonprofit organization for our 2022 program. Let's keep this wonderful program alive. To do so, we need your application. The application is on the right-hand side of the homepage. As always.
Paul, can I say something to that?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know whether this is because of what's been going on with COVID and with our ministry, but we now have, at the moment we have 3 applications, really good nonprofits, but we need at least 3 more. And I don't know why they're not coming in this year. But if there are people on the call who have you could renominate a nonprofit from a few years ago, and you can get it. It's not a hard application to fill out. So if you need help or if you've got questions about it, contact Beth Van Arkel or myself, and let's get this program moving. So and I'd like to hear about if people don't like it. You know, if people don't want it, they need to tell Jerry. They need to tell me. They need to tell Beth. So
right, and Reverend Jeff started this, so it's kind of his legacy too. Not to put any pressure, but this was our way of reaching out beyond our entryway and into the community. So yes, there's a somewhat of an urgency and somewhat of a push, and we're sharing the dream. So this communication tool may generate exactly what we need, Constance. So we'll keep working on it. And always, for information on all that is going on at your Oakland Center, visit our website, www.oaklandcsl.org, and be sure to check our events page. Also, on the events page is our Dr. Dan, Susan Brecker's in-person group, Zoe DeMuro's online Thursday night thing. Small groups are the heartbeat of our center. So please visit the events page. I want to thank Luchan for not only his talk, but he did a very, very perfect meditation at the beginning to open us up to the idea of sharing the dream. I want to thank our Zoom team behind the scenes, the ever fabulous from Portland, Peter, Dr. Barbara on PowerPoint, Alice spotlighting us always at the right time, Louis working behind the scenes on security, muting anybody that needs to be muted. He's probably tried to press my button several times tonight to mute me. Peter always doing excellent share management. We had some help from Sage capturing Luchan's nuggets tonight, and I get to press the recording button. So Zoom team, you are the best. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thinking of best things, it's time to do our offering. So let's just take a moment and hold whatever it is, the gift that you like to share with the Oakland Center, whether it's time or treasure or talent. Treasure seems to be the focus this month. We want to build a wonderfully rich and thriving budget for next year. So if you can contribute and obligate and commit on a tithing card, that would be most helpful for the board of directors. Or if you just want to put a little money in the basket, I pass that digital basket from cube to cube to cube, and we receive your gift. And as we receive it, we say, joyously I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. Luchan said something tonight that was exceptional. So it could be our new offering statement. Every last one of us is a link, but the link is only effective if we are giving and receiving. And as we know, as we just said, that we know as we give, we do receive, we're participating in the Cuban chain of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, stronger and stronger as ever. So with that in mind, how can you contribute? You can go to the webpage where everything else lives and do the donate button. You can also mail it in to our address that's on the homepage. You can be a hip kind of guy like Luchan is and text it 510-327-3431. You can even be even more hipper and use Zelle. Those are 4 ways, but the 5th way, if you wish, you can join us at service on Sunday in person, and we have an offering basket there. So there's 5 easy, convenient ways for you to contribute at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Luchan, if you don't mind, thank you, Dr. Barbara, for showing this. I'm so grateful for everything that transpired tonight. Constance, are you complete, or is your hand up from leftover?
Leftover.
Okay, so you are complete. Luchan, thank you, thank you, thank you. Owe you big time. We are always looking forward to hearing from you. We look forward to you developing your workshop. I also want to thank Reverend Jerry for being here tonight. It's always luscious when she's joined here with us. And before I turn it over for closing prayer, is that you, Margot, down there on Warriors 21?
Yes, always.
Can you turn on your camera for a minute?
Yep. Oh, very dark.
I have a very important message for you, my love.
Oh.
I'm being spotlighted, so I should look pretty big right now, right? To you?
Yeah, I love the picture behind you. Thank you.
There you
I
go.
know, I saw it first thing. Bravo.
And
You're very obedient.
mark that down, everybody. It's on tape. Secondly, I understand there might be a birthday in your future. Is that true?
There could be.
Yeah, very soon, I believe, if not already here. It's
Sunday.
soon. Sunday. Perfect. So we dedicate Wednesday night with the new picture showing Margot and Diane's garden because Paul is obedient. But we also recognize your birthday. So we're going to take a minute and wish you a happy birthday. Can you all sing along with me and sing?
Thank you.
Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Margot. Happy birthday to you. You joined the club, Margot. Welcome to
Yay,
the club.
Margot.
I caught up to Dorothy.
You joined the club. Welcome, sweetheart.
There's another link in the 80 chain, right?
Yeah.
So Margot, I hope you enjoyed the picture. Larry Williams took it professionally for me. So it looks extra beautiful. And thank you for all of your work at the center. There's your garden. So thank you.
We're the gifts. We get the gifts.
Amen. So happy birthday, my love. Thank you for all you do.
So
Luchan, if you would, can you close us out in prayer? And thank you, team, for singing. The Wednesday night Zoom choir has again performed flawlessly.
Best one I'll get.
Luchan?
Yes. And so tonight we continue in that consciousness. knowing that all things begin in the mind and that we are all individual dreams that came from the mind of the universe. So we say yes and surrender to the dreams we are and allow ourselves to be. We continue to be the dream by simply surrendering and being ourselves. I bless this service. I bless the congregation. I bless every single word said and not said, knowing that all is well and this service is already perfect, whole, and complete. For this and so much more, I am thankful. I release, and so it is.